Afternoon, Year 11. This is just a quick one this weekend. Obviously, the exam is on Wednesday. Just realised I've never done the middle way, ever, which is a bit of a clanger on my part because obviously it's one of the big topics comes up every year. So I just thought I would leave you very quickly today with a quick overview of the middle way, because 9 times out of 10 this always comes up as part of the exam. Now, first thing to mention, when we say problem with religion, we are talking about the middle way, really, aren't we? We're talking about middle way, via media, religious settlement. All those three terms are used to describe the same thing, which is Elizabeth's solution for the issue of religion. Okay, now the issue of religion is a legacy one, i.e. that means one that's been created by her brothers, sisters and parents, etc. So, gone from Henry VIII, who created the Church of England. He was a Catholic. A lot of people make mistakes in year 7, say, oh, he changed the church to Protestant. He didn't. He created Church of England so he could have a divorce, but Church of England was predominantly Catholic. And Edward comes along and is Protestant, and then Mary it's Catholic, and then Elizabeth it becomes Protestant. Now, why is that a problem? Because every time it changes, people get murdered for their religious beliefs, which is obviously heresy. So Elizabeth comes in and decides that we need something that is a solution for both faiths, Catholic and Protestant. Particularly Catholics are in her mind because 90% of England's Catholic, so therefore you need to keep them happy. Also overseas, you've got very powerful Catholic neighbours, France and Spain. You've also got the Pope, who is the head of the Catholic Church, who is watching everything that you do in England and is very aware of how Catholics are being treated in different countries. So what does the middle way look like? That's the context to it. That's why we need a middle way. Most of England's Catholic. There's lots of Catholic threats around us. And obviously we've got a situation in England that's not been brilliant for quite some time. So what does Elizabeth do? Well, she does the middle way. Now, what does that look like? The main two things are the Act of Uniformity. Act of Uniformity means that all churches have to have the same things, rules, etc. And that means the Bible is in English to suit Protestants and so the people understand what's going on. Decoration is to be kept in churches, like stained glass windows, gold lecterns, bright, colourful, ornate Catholic church style churches. That's to keep the Catholics on board. Okay, so those are the two main things to remember about the Act of Uniformity. The Act of Uniformity also says Elizabeth must be respected as head of the church. So anyone that works in the church, you have to agree that Elizabeth is the supreme governor of the Church of England. Okay. After that as well, probably the second most important thing is the Act of Supremacy. Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with the Act of Uniformity anyway, which is what I just said. Elizabeth is head of the church. So all clergy, that's the name of people that work in the church, have to respect Elizabeth as head of the church. Okay. Now, a few other things to mention. So, one thing in these two pictures here could be used to reflect this, the bishop on the left and this kind of uniform here on the right. You could use that for the Act of Uniformity, or if we could use it for what I'm about to talk about now, it doesn't really matter. But we also get the episcopacy. Now that means that priests and bishops, Catholic bishops that is, who were under Mary, here she's at the top there, can remain as part of the church as long as they agree with this stuff over here. Okay, which is that they're going to keep churches as Elizabeth has asked them to be, and that they're going to respect the middle way, and that they're going to respect Elizabeth as head of the church. So that again is a means of keeping Catholics happy, isn't it? Now, as well as that, we also get the Act of Exchanges, which means that Elizabeth up here, she gets all land and money belonging to the church. So land and money that previously went to the Pope now goes directly to the Queen herself, which gives them enormous wealth to pay back debts. Doesn't necessarily solve the problem of religion, but it does help to solve some of the marrying debt problems that she's got. Now, there's a few other things that are part of the middle way that I'll mention, but are not really referred to in pictures on here, and that is the royal injunctions. Royal injunctions is basically the rules. You have to follow all of this, okay? So if you are a recusant and you don't go to church, you get fined. And she also does visitations, which where 125 clergy go around the country to check that people are following the middle way. Okay. Now, who's going to object to any of this? Well, obviously, extreme Catholics are not going to like the middle way, and extreme Protestants are not going to like the middle way. The reason being, extreme Protestants think it's not Protestant enough, and extreme Catholics think it's not Catholic enough. It's really quite simple. Good luck with the middle way. It will come up.